Hi guys, welcome to Education College's Selective Preparation Power Reading Test 10. Today we'll be reading a few linked extracts and we have questions 21 to 30. So we're going to start by reading extract A. She wasn't really beautiful at all, thought Faith, taking up all the bow to tune the cello. Her nose was too big, her teeth too large, and her eyes too flashing. But she was very glamorous, there was no doubt about that. Her silver sequins waistcoat over her shiny black blouse and long black skirt looked stunning. She had wonderful earrings on that dangled almost to her shoulders, and her fingers sparkled with rings. "Open your books to page 13, Madame Shazam said, and we will play that loveliest of pieces, Witch's Dance." She sang a loud, piercing note. "Tune your instruments to C, please." "That's not C, Nick," Angelus said. He played violin as well as piano and almost any other instrument he could lay his hands on. He was the largest person in the orchestra, while Faith was the smallest, and Faith had been terrified of him once, till they met at the conservatorium, where they were both taking music exams, and Nick had grinned at Faith and said, "Hi." Now she liked him very much. He might look really tough, but he had a perfect pitch, and like Faith, he loved music and singing. Next, we'll read Extract B. Extract B reads, "It is fairly common to find musicians the belief that it is bad luck to recommend a piece of music they have been practicing if they have been interrupted for any length of time. They should apparently take up another piece, if only for a few bars, before going back to the original. It is also believed to be unlucky for a musician to keep a violin in his home if no one plays it. Although this is credited to us as a superstition, there is actually sound common sense in this belief. For a violin, particularly a good one, will deteriorate and lose its tune if not regularly played. Several particular tunes were also ill-omented, and many musicians and singers believe that bad luck will strike them if they play or even whistle the tune "I Dreamt I Dwelt in Marble Halls," except in the performance of the Bohemian Girl. Similarly, the singing of Tootsie's Goodbye outside its usual context will have dire consequences on the performers and the theatre concerned. The music from Macbeth is ill-omened and should never be hummed during rehearsals. Next, we'll read Extract C. It may seem odd to say that, but hearing good music played well by a big ensemble is something that a lot of people no longer experience or appreciate. Most people are musically illiterate simply because they have never been exposed to good music. Many people are unfamiliar with the sound of a symphony orchestra, which to me is the biggest instrument in the world. They hear orchestra music underscoring ads and films, they hear a trio and think of it as a band. To hear a full symphony orchestra on stage and to feel the power of the sound, it is like a tidal wave. It is an amazing experience, and it is one that I was lucky enough to grow up with. My mother was a celebrated soprano. Her name was Helen Tehel. She had been a member of the Vienna State Opera and the Budapest State Opera before her marriage, and as a baby, I was dragged along to concerts, the opera, and operetta stages. I was spoiled rotten from the word go, surrounding not necessarily by classical music, but good, high-quality music played well. Next, Extract B reads, "What seems to happen is that a piece of familiar music serves as a sound track for a mental movie that starts playing in our head," said Peter Gnata. He is a scientist who studies music and the brain. It calls back memories of a particular person or place, and you might all of a sudden see that person's face in your eyes' mind. Scientists are trying to solve the mystery of music's power. They are working to piece together a picture of what happens in the brain when people listen to or play music. So far, they know there's no one music center in our heads. Music activates many areas of the brain. Right now, while your brain is still growing, music plays an important role. Catriona Morrison, a researcher of the University of Leeds in England, found that music leaves its most lasting impressions on people around 14. And the songs you listen to in your teens will probably influence the type of music you listen to for the rest of your life. And now that we've read the extracts, we'll answer the questions. So the first question, 21, reads, "Which extract feels a certain type of music is often overlooked because of its unusual application?" So we'll go back to the options. We'll see which one is talking about music. They all are, but in different ways. So in extract A, it's a story. So we know that for first question, it can't be extract A. Extract B is talking about sort of superstition. So it's also not extract B. We've got extract C or extract D. Extract D is talking about a study, but remember the question is talking about is overlooked because of its unusual application, which would be extract C when they're talking about the opera and the full symphony orchestra. We can tell because of the last sentence particularly. Surrounded not necessarily by classical music, but good, high-quality music played. We'll write down option C. Next question reads, highlights a specific period where music can affect you personally. So remember, again, extract A is talking about a story or some sort of narrative with a lesson or a moral. B is talking about omens, superstitions. Extract C was talking about the orchestra. So for here, it would be extract D. And we can tell because it says here, found that music leaves its most lasting impression on people around age 14. And the music you listen to in your teens will probably influence the type of music you listen to for the rest of your life. So we can see that, yes, it affects you personally, they're talking about. So here we'll put D. The next question reads, implies words were said in a musical tone. So it's not extract D, so they're talking about here study. We'll just write this at the bottom as well for reference. Extract C is talking about the orchestra, but they're not really talking about the same question asked here. We've got extract B, but this is talking about superstitions. So here it actually would be extract A. So remember, musical tone, and if we go back, it says here, she sang a loud piercing note. Tune your instruments to C, please. So that's why we got extract A for that one. Next question reads, might suggest a song which is related to a certain performance. And if you just know, based on what we read so far, certain type of performance, they're talking about the behaviors or actions you take, which is superstitions. So extract B. And how do we know that it's not another one? It's not a study, so it doesn't suggest effect, because here, remember, they're not talking about the effect of music, so they're not saying classical music makes you more intelligent or etc. Extract C is not talking about the same question as well, so that's why it must be extract B. The next question reads, rationalizes a potential musical explanation behind a common belief. Again, this would be extract B. And we'll go back and I'll show you the line here. It says here, singers believe that bad luck will strike them if they play or even whistle the tune I Dreamt I Dwelt in Marble Halls, except for the performance of the Bohemian Girl, which is here a musical explanation behind that common belief. Next question reads, associates certain types of performances with good music. So we're going to try to find the word good. And we can see already that's extract C. Yeah, and then they say it a few more times here. Good music, good high quality music. So we're just looking for the words that have been spoken in the extract. Next is mentions an institution where music is studied and taught. So we're just looking for the words institution. Not here. It could be C, possibly. They do talk about the Vienna State Opera and the Budapest State Opera. It's not extract B. It could be extract C as well. So remember, they're talking about this musical company here. The question reads, mentions an institution where music is studied and taught. So it'd be more likely to be A, mentions. That's why. So it wouldn't be extract C since they're outright saying it. Next is of the belief that not all music is of equal value. So it's not extract A, remember that's a narrative. It's not extract B, that's superstitions. Could be extract C, can't be extract D though, because remember, extract D isn't talking about value, it's just talking about the different types of music and how it might change your perception of something. So that's why it'd be extract C. And then we can say here again, the last sentence, surrounded not necessarily by classical music, but good high quality music. The second last question reads, talks about how music can trigger and recall certain events. So you should know, obviously, from the ones we have, it must be extract D, and I'll help you find the quote. So we got a few. We got this quote here. It calls back memories of a particular person or place, and you might all of a sudden see that person's face in your eyes mind. And our last question reads, acknowledges that the potential of music is still underexplored. So it's not extract A, remember that's the story. B is superstitions. While that's true, it's not really music that's being explored, it's just the history behind music there. Could be extract C, or it could be extract D, but we'll just quickly check how they worded the question. So potential of music unexplored. So in extract C, they're talking about one type of music or a way to perform music, which is opera. So it's not likely to be extract C, actually. It'd be more likely to be extract D. And they're talking about how, especially here when they say that they play soundtrack as a mental movie that starts in our head, that for some people, they listen to music and they just hear lyrics, but actually there's deep psychology behind music, and that's what this question is trying to explore. So that's why for the last extract we got D. Hey, thank you guys for coming to Education College's Selective Preparation Power Reading Test 10. I'll see you guys next time.